Times are grim, everybody, but it's times like these where we have to show one another that we care about survivability and we care about one another and we care about the prosperity of human race. However, sometimes things have to end, but that's for another episode. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about the priorities during COVID-19, aka coronavirus. There's a lot of things we can do, although I would like to make a small list and talk a little bit about these things that we can do to prevent making this even worse than it already is. Because people are ignoring a lot of these things, because a lot of people are just thinking that this is something that we can just, whatever, it's gonna get fixed. Whatever, it's not that bad. Whatever, it's only gonna happen to others, it's not gonna happen to me. While people like me have the thought that it only happens to me and never happens to others, there are people like do the 180-degree think or thought. So I put a little list here of priorities that we should take into account during the COVID-19 crisis. And I'm going to be talking about a little bit of them, and not a little bit about, I'm trying to try to be like thorough talking about these. So let's move on to it. And I'm going to be making this episode whatever length it has to be. If it's going to be a 10-minute episode, if it's going to be a 5-minute episode, if it's going to be a 1-hour episode, whatever. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to give what I have to say. And that's pretty much it. If it makes a 1-hour episode, so be it. If it makes a 5-minute episode, so be it. If it makes a 10-minute episode, so be it. So, for number one, I thought we have to remain indoors at all cost. And we only should leave our house to get the necessary resources for our survival. Now, we need food. We need supplies for staying indoors. So we need to leave our houses every now and then. Sometimes we need to walk our dogs, walk our pets. But besides those things, you should remain indoors at all costs. And if you're a parent and your kid wants to go out, you should not let your kid outside. This is the one moment. This is the one time, the one moment where I'm going to say, don't let your kids out. Because if you let your kids out, you're a bad parent. During this crisis, it's terrible because your kids can get infected and the kids can infect you. And then it's just a huge string. It's just going to cause a chain effect of ignorance. It's not ignorance that I'm looking for. It's a chain of, what's the word I'm looking for here? I always blank out when I'm looking for the words in specific, but whatever. It's just like it's going to cause that chain effect, and you will be the one responsible for it because you were the parent that allowed the kid to go outside when the kid should be inside. Now, you have, and this leads to number two, you have also the responsibility to not only make the kid stay active while inside, but yourself, and this goes for any demographics. People who are young, people who are middle-aged, people who are elderly, stay active while inside. You don't have to go to the gym, you don't have to go outside, you don't have to go run 5 miles to stay active. There's plenty of exercises, there's plenty of things you can do while inside of your home to stay active. And staying active, it's not just good for, exercising, it's good for your body because your body is staying active. Therefore, your body is building immunity to things. Because if you give in to comfortability, if you give in to just sitting around and doing nothing, your body is also giving in to comfortability and doing nothing. So your body develops weaknesses. Your body doesn't care about developing what am I looking for here? Developing I hate when I forget words. Oh man, maybe podcasting is not for me, huh? But basically what I'm trying to say is if you stay active, the body will also try to stay active with you. Your brain, the psychological part of your body will stay active. The physical part of your body will also stay active. If you just give in to sitting around or to just laying down and not doing anything, it's also going to happen for those things. It's also your body's going to just be lazy and you're going to feel incredibly tired all the time. You're going to feel like you don't have energy for anything. And it's just like, that's what it's going to be. And think if this is over anytime soon, imagine you have to go to work and you work at something that requires you to be active, and you've spent like 2 months in absolute inactivity, not doing anything but watching series or playing video games or just like laying down and sleeping. You are not going to be able to perform your job because your body's not going to be used to it anymore. You're just going to be tired all the time. You're just going to be like lazy all the time. So stay active even while you're inside, because then you're going to be able to, if your job requires you to be active, it's going to be nice. You're going to be adapting to it nicely. Your immunity is going to be there. Your system is going to be creating immunity. If something happens, it's just better to stay active. You know what I mean? So for number 3, I thought about you need to ingest vitamins and or use a backyard if you have it. And this is kind of like not everyone has the luxury of having a backyard, especially in times like these. And I understand that's why a lot of people go to outside. But I mean, if you don't have a backyard, that's kind of rough. But there are vitamins you can ingest in pills, I believe, or in forms of little, what's it called, little dust or whatever. I don't know, where you pour it with along with a drink, and you can drink it. Whatever. I don't ingest vitamins. Fortunately for me, I do have the luxury of having a backyard, so I don't really need the ingestion of vitamins. But if you do need that, try to ingest vitamins. Or if you use a backyard, or if you have a backyard, use a backyard. Go to the backyard and catch some sun. Okay? Get some sun in you. Because sun has vitamins as well. I believe it has vitamin D. And vitamins is always good because vitamins is one of the main things that's going to help you create immunity to a lot of these things that are happening now. And even if you go to the backyard, if you want to be extra safe, wear a mask because there's talk of the virus being a mutating virus and being airborne. So, hey, I mean, even if it makes you look ridiculous, the one who laughs last laughs best. It's kind of a saying here. I don't know if it's a saying in English, but I just roughly translate it. But that's the thing. If you have to go outside, if you have to go to your backyard, and you're like, well, yeah, but it's outside still. So I mean, isn't it bad? Well, just yeah, wear a mask, and if your neighbors are like, why are you wearing a mask in your own house? It's just your backyard, idiot. Well, yeah, but if you're still staying safe, you know, again, the one who laughs last laughs best. And if you stay safe in their backyards, not wearing a mask, well, this virus could be mutating and going for them. I mean, yeah. So, but don't do that. Don't laugh at them. Just try to tell them that they should do the same. Okay, this is not a competition. This is not a hey, let's see who dies last. Let's see who's lasting longer. So this is not a fucking competition. Don't try to be the last one alive. It's none of that. Just warn them as well and tell them that it might be a mutating virus, or it's a mutating virus, so it could be airborne, so it could be going for them even if they're in their own backyards, in their own property. So for them to be careful as well. Also, maintain and or up your hygiene. And this is kind of like being redundant at this point, but keep washing your hands and showering. And alcohol is really good to rub in your hands, so it kills all the bacteria. So if you go outside to buy shit and you don't have those disposable gloves, make sure that when you get home, you wash your hands with soap or those blue whatever it is. I don't know the name of it. It's soap as well or some shit like that. But make sure that you wash your hands nicely with soap, and then you wash them with alcohol. Okay, so you wash them with water, soap, get them dry, then pour alcohol on them, and then you rub them with the alcohol until they naturally dry. Because if you rub them a good amount of time, alcohol will get dry, and naturally by just rubbing it. And it's really good. It's pretty easy to do, and it's safe, and it's gonna prevent a lot of bacteria from going into your system. And then you can touch your face and stuff like that. Okay, so there it is. This is something that I never did in this podcast, which eating my own words. When I did the War at World podcast, I thought that this was going to be just another one of those little fucking viruses for everyone to go into panic for a little bit. Oh my god, let's talk about it, let's talk about it, let's talk about it. And then like 2 weeks later, no one talks about it because it didn't cause anything. So I had to eat my words because this is causing a lot of trouble, a lot of issues. And when they announced the quarantines and the lockdowns for almost pretty much every country that was infected with it, I was like, okay, this is serious shit. This is real. This is happening. And so yeah, I had to eat my own words, and I'm not going to take the episode down, of course, but here it is, the kind of trying to correct that episode, I guess. So yeah, this is serious business, folks. This is not something to play around. If you're again, if you are parents, make sure that your kids are safe, because if your kids have any respiratory issues, anything like that, and kids tend to have respiratory issues. I mean, I know a lot of kids back in my day when we were kids. A lot of kids had respiratory issues, including me. I mean, I had to have fucking surgery because at some point, every week at 2 a.m., and if it wasn't every day, it was like every 2 days or every 3 days, but every single fucking week at 2 in the morning, my grandparents had to call an ambulance to take me to the fucking hospital, taking oxygen because I couldn't fucking breathe. So I had respiratory issues, and then I had to take surgery to fucking fix that. So imagine I was 5 years old. Imagine me being 5 years old during all this bullshit. And it's something that kind of saddens me, really. And I'm always complaining about kids, and I'm always like, hitting kids with bullshit and stuff, because honestly, the kids are, or they were growing in a time where they were allowed too much shit, and they were not, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm always looking for words now. Holy shit, I haven't podcasted in a while, so that I'm looking for so many words. But they were not called out for it, and everything was sugar coated for them, and everything was like, oh, let's not make competitions anymore. Everyone's equally good, okay? Let's not compete anymore. Everyone's equally good. And it started to bother me so much, to the point of like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Are you actually fucking kidding me, dude? The competition is good. There needs to be one determined better than the others, so that the others have to fucking work more and work better to fucking improve themselves. So if everyone's the same fucking level, if everyone's good, no one's gonna try to improve themselves. You fucking morons. Anyways, but yeah, I've been complaining about kids, and it's not really the kids' fault. It's my generation's fault, with this fucking stupidity of the no competitions, and this veganism bullshit. It's fucking pathetic, to say the least. And yeah, I have to say, my generation ruined the fucking world. It really did. My generation ruined the fucking world. And I'm pretty sure that the fuckers who are behind those big corporations that manage the artists that they get and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure that they are. Because there's some kids really smart, and they listen to some really good music nowadays. You know what I mean? And there's some kids who even hate their own generation for what they turn out to be. So it's just sad that, man, a fucking 12-year-old or a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old is gonna go through all this bullshit. And I don't know. I mean, my adolescence wasn't too good. It was pretty bullshit as well. But it was personal family shit, It wasn't a globalized pandemic. And it's sad. It's sad, really, because, man, They deserve better, dude. Because they didn't. No one asks to be alive. No one says, "Hey, I want to be the one that goes through the eggs and becomes the alive one." There's no character select screen. There's no character creation screen. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. Just you are born and that's it. And then you have to face all the bullshit of life. So it saddens me that all this bullshit is happening and kids have to deal with this shit because, man, what a fucking time to be alive, dude. What a fucking time to be alive. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed to listen, or hope you guys enjoyed to listen to this podcast and learned something or took something out of this. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.